Yeah, so let's get into it. So it's May, and our new theme this month is bank robberies and friendship.
Hey, happy
And,
May Day, guys.
Yeah, happy May Day. Power to the workers.
What?
Hey, and May Day, it's like robbing banks and stuff. That's like kind of a cool, like
May Day, May Day, May Day.
proletariat thing to do.
Oh.
Mayday, Mayday, Adam's talking. Mayday, Mayday.
May Day.
Because when you rob a bank, like robbing a bank that's how you rob the richest people, is by
Been
robbing
there.
a bank.
Except banks are covered by government insurance. And when you rob a bank, you're robbing the American taxpayer. Good
Hell
job.
yeah.
No.
Who better to rob if not the American taxpayer? They're already getting robbed paying taxes, so they're obviously an easy target.
So let's get on to the movie because this is boring. So
Down with the feds. That's all I'm saying. Alex Jones is right.
our first movie this month is Killing Zoe, directed by Roger Avary in 1993, written by Roger Avary. And Roger Avary is best well known for co-writing the screenplay for Pulp Fiction and winning the Academy Award with Quentin Tarantino in 94, 95 or whatever. And he's the guy on stage who said, "I have to go pee," quoting Forrest Gump in Bombing. He bombed on the Oscars. Although I got the reference.
Wait. So this movie came out in 93, but then the Pulp Fiction came out in 95? Or they won in 95?
Pulp Fiction came out in 94. I think this might have come out in 94, actually.
Well, I was going to say, because this movie says from the producers of, like in the opening credits, it says like Pulp Fiction and...
In the opening credits? No, it doesn't.
From the twisted minds that
In the
brought
trailer.
you Pulp Fiction.
So basically what happened was...
Oh, yeah, in the synopsis.
Idiot.
Roger Avary worked with Quentin Tarantino at Video Archives in South Bay, where Hermosa Beach or something, and there was a video store, and they were buddies. They were writing stuff together. Oftentimes, Roger Avary would write things, and then Quentin Tarantino would rewrite it. Apparently, True Romance, the first draft of True Romance is written by Roger Avary, and Tarantino was like, "Oh, let me do a rewrite," and apparently just rewrote the whole movie. And Roger Avary read the screenplay and cried and said, "This is your script now. I can't, it's so beautiful. I can't take my name, put my name on it."
Why is there so many feet sex scenes? Why did you add so many sexual feet in this script? That's all Tarantino's
that was the original
notes are
title,
just feet.
Actually. Yeah.
He was just weeping.
Sexual feet.
He was weeping, reading about the feet. But if you'll notice in this movie, Killing Zoe, there's a lot of similarities between this and True Romance. Both movies are about a guy who has sex with a hooker, who the hooker falls in love with.
In there.
And also we'll get to it later, but the ending of this movie is the same ending as True Romance, where an injured man and his girlfriend walk out of a giant blown up, like the aftermath of a shootout. They just walk out together and go out the front door.
It's kind of a 90s.
That seems
thing,
like in every,
to have it be about love or whatever at the end. It's hip guy, young, they're criminals, but they love each other.
Well, it's the same story
Crazy
because
beautiful.
they were
It's
just
the same
writing
thing as
this.
Crazy Beautiful.
They're writing the same scripts over and over again, Tarantino and Roger Avary, and they're trying to make anything. So you'll notice in all their early movies, all their ideas are they'll copy themselves because they were just trying to get anything made. So basically the way this movie got made, which is after Reservoir Dogs, Lawrence Bender, who produced it, was asking screenwriters, and he asked Roger Avary, "Hey, there's this amazing bank location in downtown LA. Do you have any scripts about bank robberies?" And Roger Avary's like, "Yeah, I just need 2 weeks to polish it." But he didn't have any script. So he wrote the script in 2 weeks. And it's very autobiographical. A lot of it's based on his experience going to Paris when he was a teenager or in college.
Paris, you mean?
Yeah, he went to Gay Paris. And the movie was originally going to start with Eric Stoltz in wearing a What the hell are those hats called?
Top hat?
Beret.
Oh, a beret.
He had a beret on and a French bread loaf, and he's by the Eiffel Tower. He was going to go, gay Paris.
Gay Perry. I love being a gay Perry. Fuck. I fucked up what I was going to say.
Gay Parisian. But yeah, this movie is entirely shot in LA, except for like 2 days shot in Paris.
What the fuck?
And they do a good job.
But it's all in Paris, right?
It all takes place in Paris.
Takes place in Paris, yeah.
So basically, when the movie starts,
right.
there's just like a car driving around Paris, and they have the camera on the hood of the car.
Too. Yeah.
Just like, yeah, he just drove a car around for like 2 days.
Yeah, but
getting footage.
But like getting into that, there was like a turnabout or whatever you want to call it. Roundabout. And getting into that, they don't have any fucking lanes. There's just 7 lanes of traffic and no lanes. And it was chaos. It stressed me out watching that part.
Wasn't there a comedy where a guy got stuck in one of those?
That's European Vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam, you have to talk into the microphone. You have
European
to lean
Vacation. I'm on a new mic.
He's leaning. He's on a new mic, but he's leaning across the room smoking a vape. Like
maybe
he's fucking
you'll be more
Clint Eastwood in
present
the back
if
of
you
a-
actually just sit up.
Too chill.
Now, next thing you can do is you get a little arm thing like me.
Yeah.
You can move it around.
You ever take the mic off and then put that thing around your little wiener and then move it around?
Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like maybe I put a dildo in it and I would use it like use the arm thing like a dildo. But would I put my wiener in it? No.
Yeah. Have you popcorn tricked to your girlfriend? You put your wiener in it and then you say, "Hey babe, don't you have to record a podcast today?" And then she comes in and she thinks that she's talking into the microphone, but it's your little willy.
I put a dildo in it and I sit on it.
And that's what you call doing the podcast.
Babe, I gotta go do a podcast.
And when I do that, that's a better show than this show.
No.
Do you really mean that? Do you really mean
I feel better afterwards. I feel better afterwards. There's more laughs.
Yeah, that's true.
You're laughing. You're crying. It's
laughing?
emotional.
Who's laughing? Is the dildo laughing?
Wait,
is it?
Don't do the thing where
I make fun of you bombing.
No,
not Ryan. You're
not making fun of me, really. You're just repeating the thing I'm saying.
I'm cracking it twisted.
Who's laughing? Are you laughing?
Yeah, that's the thing I said, and it was a good thing.
I don't like this. When Mike is making Adam defiant.
I know.
He's talking back now.
I'm sounding better, so I'm realizing what I have to offer.
He's got an old cum sock on over the mic.
It's my baby sock, actually. It's not a cum sock.
You cum in your baby socks.
Cum in your baby sock.
He jerks off in his baby socks.
No.
Well, it'd be cool if you did. Anyway, so in the beginning of this movie, they're driving the car around Paris, and then he pulls into the airport terminal, and then they cut to LA, and they do this really smart thing where they just like zoom in on Eric Stoltz's face, and you can't tell you're in LA. So Eric Stoltz is in the cab. He's smoking a cigarette. He's being all cool.
Being a cool 90s guy.
He's just being a cool American 90s guy.
Yeah.
The cab driver's like, "You want a whore? I get you an escort." So
he's like, "Hey,
sure.
You're a cool 90s guy. You might be interested in this."
No, he lets the guy speak in French for like a whole paragraph, and he just sits there all cool in the back, and then almost in a perfect response, he goes, "I don't speak French," and then oh my god! So I wrote down one of the lines that I fucking love.
Okay, go ahead.
I speak American.
The French stuff.
Yeah, I speak American. You go, "You English?" "I speak American."
So I didn't realize that there were subtitles in this, and I watched the first hour of the movie, being like, "This is a cool choice to not have subtitles."
The first hour of the movie? That's 3/4 of the movie.
I know. Well, like suddenly there were like scenes. Well, so I thought that I thought it was a cool choice to do it because, like, you know, Eric Stoltz doesn't speak French, so it's like putting us more in the protagonist's point of view. He's watching these guys have these French conversations and not knowing he's like this outsider. It makes the whole thing like this alien thing.
Yeah.
You also
So
don't
anyway,
speak
did you
French.
rewind it or you just didn't bother?
I didn't bother.
Yeah, you're just a
Yeah,
fucking.
there were some
How are you
scenes
not
where
constantly just confused?
there were some scenes that were like, I realized that it was, and it probably had subtitles because they were like scenes where Eric Stoltz was not in the room, and it was just French people.
What is
talking
wrong with
back
you?
and forth for like 5 minutes.
You know, we have to talk about the
wait a
movie,
minute.
and now you haven't even watched the movie.
No, I did. Well, I watched it from a unique
You watch like
perspective.
you watch like the picture book version of it.
Yeah. It's like the opposite of going on Wikipedia because I didn't know.
If you show
plot,
Adam,
but
Adam a meme with text in it, he'll just look at the picture. He won't read the text, so he just doesn't get the meme.
Yeah,
But he'll talk about the meme.
It'll be like that was a good picture, man. I don't really
So
see what's so funny.
if you got to
about it,
leave
but-
early, you can just go now. It's all right.
No. My point is, I still understood the movie just as much
No, you
as
didn't.
what Eric Stoltz was understanding.
What did the woman at the bar say to Eric Stoltz?
I don't speak French, so neither does he. So he's sitting there being like, "What's this
Okay.
lady talking about? This is so weird. Such a weird experience. I'm on drugs."
Hey, well, it's a movie with subtitles.
Yeah, I realized that halfway through. So, and I corrected it, halfway through.
Can't wait to hear what you contribute to this episode.
I might contribute some
it's
interesting
just-
thoughts
it's like-
because I have I'm in the same place as Eric Stoltz is.
Okay,
You know,
you're not.
think
You're
about
an
it.
audience member. You're not a character in the movie. You're not like, whoa, I'm in the movie. I don't know what's going on.
I thought it was a really good choice, honestly, until I realized that it wasn't a choice.
Are you a little bit ashamed?
Yes, I'm ashamed.
Are you embarrassed?
I'm finding just new ways to be stupid on this podcast.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
getting.
I know.
I'm worried
This
about
is-
you. You're raising a human.
I mean,
You're 100% going to forget your kid at a gas station at least once.
he said it.
You are.
He said that. Said that already. But
I don't know
yes.
why, but that's the vibe I'm getting. He's gonna be fine. You're gonna
No,
get
no,
like
no,
you're gonna drive out of the parking lot and be like, "Oh shit," and then turn around and get him. But you're definitely gonna do that.
I'm
He's gonna be like buying food at the gas station, and he'll be like, he can't hold the baby and the food, so then he's gonna put the baby on like the hot dog rotator thing.
They're just rolling on the thing,
And when he comes back, his kid's gonna be all cooked and burnt.
just tan.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Your
tan.
kid's just gonna have a sexy ass tan, like a perfect tan.
That'd be cool. Really perfect.
So anyway,
So he gets
after
a
that-
whore.
It's kind of
This
cool
is-
though. It's kind of a cool thing for a
no,
movie.
it's not. So anyway, you watched the movie wrong,
Only at the
and
first
you
half.
were on a podcast where you're supposed to talk about the movie, and then
Oh,
you
I'll
didn't
be
even
talking.
bother
Don't worry.
to rewatch it.
No, I'll
So-
be talking. Don't worry about it.
I don't want you to talk.
I'll have a lot to say.
I'm sure it'll be really good. So Eric
good.
Stoltz hooks up with the girl that night, and
Who's
well,
very
before that,
attractive. I'm in love with her.
he checks into the
Julie
hotel room.
Delpy.
And then the guy that gives him who lets him into the hotel room, that guy is the real Eric. That's who the character is inspired by. That's the guy Roger Avary knew, who was from France, and they're best buds. And like, he has a little cameo. He's not as insane and
bellboy.
violent as the guy in the movie. So Eric Stoltz's character is named Zed. His best friend from Paris is named Eric. Yeah, and then the hooker played by Julie Delpy is Zoe. So Zoe comes over, and Eric Stoltz is like, "Yes, she's so hot. Oh yeah." It's like-
he says,
She's like a $200 whore,
yeah.
and she's way too attractive for that kind of money.
She also upcharged him too. And Adam, this is something Adam, because she's spoken French, and she's like, I charge, what did she say? I charge
500
this
francs
for an hour or 200 for the night. And then he was like, what? I don't speak. And she goes, 1,000 for the night. And
Yeah,
then he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
that's
okay.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of
So she got 80% more pay because Dingus is like you, Adam, who don't read the
So-
subtitles.
Just who don't speak French.
You should be embarrassed. It's be
It's a
like if you
cool
walked outside with you're like, I didn't wear pants today, but it was like a cool look. You're just like in your dirty, tidy whities.
Yeah, I'm bringing back Porky Pig in it.
Don't wear tight. I want somebody else to watch the movie without subtitles on
No.
who doesn't speak French.
No, don't.
Tell
If
me
you're
how cool
watch,
it felt. Because I loved
No,
it. I thought this movie
you
was
literally
awesome.
miss like at least 45% of the dialogue.
Doesn't matter. He wouldn't even if the subtitles were there, he wouldn't even read them. That's the other thing.
I read.
He doesn't read. He doesn't listen. He doesn't comprehend.
I read.
He's just like a cat staring at a TV. It's like if the cat watched a movie. That's the same kind of.
No, that's a bad because the cats I got at my house and we put on the birds chirping and squirrels, they pay attention and they focus on the screen. So that's not a good analogy.
I was paying attention.
Anyway.
This movie's all action. You know what I mean? It's all style. It's all action. It's visual. It's all about the visuals.
No, it's not.
He says as he's wearing just no pants and crusty whitey tighties.
Movie's all about the dialogue. Clearly.
It is. Oh,
it's such a dialogue heavy movie.
Oscar-winning screenwriters
right.
for solo effort. So
I thought it was a bold thing for him to put out a thing so dialogue light.
Hey, give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks. I can gift you a bank robbery movie.
I'm surprised.
No dialogue.
I was actually worried Ryan was going to watch the whole movie with the audio commentary of the director talking because, like, the computer might default.
That would be fairly stupid, Ryan.
Well, I was talking to it. I thought I was watching it with. I was kind of gacked out last night, and I thought I was watching it with a friend.
All right,
I got about 90 minutes in before I realized.
Yeah, dude, wasn't it sick? The drug scene when you were when you were gagged.
Shut up. With your hand over your mouth. Right. We're trying to move on, and you're just like,
no, that was me moving on.
I was moving on.
Are you a cop? Wasn't it cool doing drugs and watching a drug scene?
Yeah, did you think that was cool?
If you can see what I'm doing visually, it's so funny. I have my hands over my mouth, and I'm talking like Adam.
Like Adam.
Yeah, he's right.
All right, so they actually fall in love when they hook up. They're actually
she orgasms. She has the big O.
Said. And she says it never happens.
And on TV, so while they have sex, the camera pans to the TV with Nosferatu on, and like there's a shot of Nosferatu rising.
Oh yeah,
and it's like a boner.
Yeah, it's really cool to like use that movie as a metaphor for getting a boner.
That was my least favorite part about the movie.
Because you're like, oh, black and white vampire.
That's what your dick looks like. Your dick looks like Nosferatu.
You have two fangs on the tip.
Bald head. Pointy
it'll get you right on the neck. Yeah. I've never got head because they go down to give me to do oral sex on my wiener, and it like a snake, it dodges the mouth and it bites him right on the neck.
Yeah,
and it's weird because I got a little tiny skinny penis.
Yeah, like one of those ring neck snakes or whatever.
A movie about a vampire penis. My penis is a vampire. It has fangs. It has a little cape.
My penis is a vampire.
And on the cover, it's a guy like with a big face, like what? And then it's like his boner. It's like coming up the bottom, and it's like
my dick is a vampire.
Remember those Thumb War movies?
Yeah.
His penis is like a Thumb War character. Vampire. Be very funny. So they fall in love, but then she's taking a shower, and the director's so pretentious. He on the commentary talks about how like, in every shot they're separate, but then once they have sex, then they're finally in the same shot together because now they're connected. But then
it's like nobody cares about that kind of stuff, dude.
Eric shows up, the French Eric, from the movie, and it's played by John Hughes and Glade. I don't know how to say his fucking name. I'm not French, but he's like the coolest French movie star. He's in Betty Blue. He was on The Sopranos. He played the French guy in that one episode. I think he's in Ridicule, which is a good French movie. But he is just a disgusting, dirty, sweaty, stringy-haired mess of a person, and he's so good. When he shows up, the first thing he does is he kicks out Julie Delpy, throws her naked in the hallway.
Yeah, Zed is like, hey, I was thinking about letting her spend the night, but he's like not helping. He's just letting him throw her ass out.
Apparently in the script, he was supposed to like go like, hey, come on, don't do that. But then Eric Stoltz was like, what if I just like don't try to help?
Yeah.
And so Roger Avary was like, go with it. That's cool. Like, and I think that a lot of that, like, the coolest thing about this movie is how nihilistic and amoral the characters are.
Yes.
Like they don't bother to make them like redeeming in any way. So that night, Eric
90s
wants to show him the real Paris, and they go to his junky flat, and it's in this like the roof of this building. They're like squatting in a building, and it's just like Eric lives there with like 4 other dudes, I guess.
Wouldn't you
And
say he's like a anarchist or something like that? In that car scene where they're just talking and they're driving to his place.
Yeah, he's just talking out his ass though.
Oh,
yeah. He's just a heroin addict.
Mm.
This is presumably their first bank robbery, right?
Yeah, they're not exactly anarchists. He's more of a hedonist. He just does everything for pleasure.
But
talks
the main
about some
character,
political
Zed is an actual safe cracker. Is that not why he's in Paris?
Well, it's very weird. It makes no sense why he's a safe cracker.
Why he's
and how
there? Yeah,
Seems
but I
like
guess
a pretty
he's
dangerous cracker to me. I don't know what you guys are talking about. He's a criminal and stuff.
Adam said that, and then we just watched him just shake his head like disappointedly, and then cross off something on the list that he's got.
Okay. So not that one. Got it. Go ahead.
Fuck. And then crosses it off.
Safe crackers.
I've
are
actually been
dangerous.
waiting to use that one for a while. I thought about it before this movie,
But they're not dangerous.
Well, he lives a life of crime and stuff, And
it's not dangerous to crack a safe.
I thought you were calling him a cracker because he's like white.
Yeah.
But why is he dangerous?
Because he's involved in criminal activity. So I was kind of
also crackers. Crackers are pretty dangerous. They did a lot of harm in American history.
I just watched Amistad. Those are some dangerous crackers.
You
want to know
the ones that freed the slaves? Those guys are dangerous.
Yeah,
those guys are dangerous, dude. Look what happened.
Fuck, man.
Oh, the ones
Matthew
that
McConaughey
free the slaves are the dangerous ones. Yeah,
Matthew McConaughey. That's a dangerous cracker.
Can you imagine getting whipped by Matthew McConaughey? All right. It's just like, wait, this is supposed to be demoralizing, but you're kind of turning me on, mister.
Still charming.
Still,
even when he's whipping you.
Matthew McConaughey as a slave owner in a movie. These slaves keep staying the same age. Well, I keep getting older. What is that? I keep getting older. Well, these
stay the same age.
Yeah,
you got to know that whole movie by heart. You live in Austin. That's like your.
I live 2 blocks away from.
You are
high school,
becoming that guy,
which is now a college.
Yeah, that
the more
is your
older
hero.
you get, the more
sometimes I
become like this pedophile Matthew McConaughey character.
Sometimes, we did film at that bowling alley. The movie
you were
I
a
did.
pedophile.
We filmed. We were the last.
Young.
We were the last ones to ever film at that bowling alley before they destroyed it last year.
Cool. It's too bad for the bowling alley, but it's cool for you guys.
Pour one out for the bowling alley.
Yeah.
No.
So they show up at Eric's house. There's like a dead cat in the ground.
Oh, that shit is
that was a funny joke.
That's good because like every movie's like save the cat.
Sleeping. Yeah.
And they think the cat's asleep, but it's just dead. He like kicks it in the head.
He
like
steps on it. He steps on it with it. And he's like, oh, it's dead.
It's a funny joke about cats though, because you could like spend a few days just seeing your cat and thinking it's just sleeping every time you see it. But it's actually been dead for days.
They said before this movie, they worked on a movie with a lot of dead cats. I think that was Sleepwalkers. I think this is a leftover Sleepwalkers cat. Because they'll do that like with visual effects. Like
that's such a good
you make a bunch
movie.
of body parts for this movie, and then another job comes along, and it's like, oh, like we can reuse these molds and models and dead cats and stuff. So they probably after Sleepwalkers had dead cats for days, just like
the Sleepwalkers, the one where they shape shift and they're scared of cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end, there's a big cat marauder battle.
Yeah.
Oh, you did an episode on that.
Mm-hmm.
The status.
So
yeah.
then what happened? Oh yeah, there's like he gets really high with these guys, and
They just force him to do all these drugs.
They go out
like
for a night on the town because they're doing the job the next day. So they're like, let's live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And they also
he's like, I need to get a night's sleep. And he's
he
like,
chases the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's
Which
also
is
like
what?
a monk
It's
smoking
opium. Yeah.
smoking heroin. So there's like a
Which,
monkey
yeah,
in the corner of
opium.
the room, which is cool. There's just a monkey hanging around. And it's like, they're like, I hate that fucking monkey. And it's like,
He's just on a leash though, in a diaper on a leash. Let that monkey go.
these guys are crazy. Now,
Yeah.
I think Roger Avary said a lot of this is inspired by when he went to Paris and saw his friends living like this, but obviously it's exaggerated because these guys also have like, they're doing so much heroin. They're doing.
Yeah. How are they getting it?
Where's a heroin addict getting a monkey and also like taking care of it enough that it.
You steal it.
Yeah. And it's probably
They're
going to be dead like the cat.
Yeah. I'll be dead in
Real
like
soon.
2 weeks. I mean, at the end of the movie, we don't know what happened to that monkey. It's just still locked in this
That's
like
true. In this
attic apartment.
Oh man, that monkey.
That would have been cool if the monkey got all the like the monkey gets all the gold.
Oh,
It's just the monkey eating
That would be cool.
that dead cat to survive.
So
Yeah.
Just
They
trapped
should
in
have
the
done a
attic.
post-credit scene where the monkey is like is with all the gold bars, being like, yeah.
There's,
on an island or something.
so there's like a couple, like it's hard to really figure out a personality for all the other characters. So there's like one guy who's British, right? And he's like always talking about TV. He talks about like The Prisoner and Star Trek and like
That's
he's
just
clearly-
He's just going off.
that's a
and
90s
that's like-
thing though.
it's not a 90s thing. It's a Roger
junkie
Avary
thing.
Tarantino
No,
thing.
it's a
where they would-
90s thing.
But they
Having these
came up
fucking
with
stupid
this. They
conversations.
came up with this, Adam.
Seinfeld. Jerry
this is-
Seinfeld came up with this.
This is their thing.
Tarantino stole it from Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay, so whenever you say it's a 90s thing, you have to remember that like
Everybody wanted
Tarantino,
to have,
Roger
like, a fun,
Avary,
quirky conversation and like talk about fucking burgers and TV shows, and that was like the thing that they stole from Jerry Seinfeld. Go ahead.
Why can't
Oh,
we
you go.
steal it from somebody so we
You
can
go
have a
ahead.
fucking quirky
I'm done.
conversation?
Stop.
I'm done.
Don't be done.
Okay. I'm getting
William's
some
crying.
guns. I'm getting guns. I'm doing heroin and I'm coming over and I'm taking you out. Okay.
I'll
Okay,
bring the monkey,
please do.
bro. I'll bring the
So as I
monkey.
was saying,
Damn,
in the
William,
nine-
like father, like son.
in the 90s, it was all about pop culture references. So like if you watch Ben Stiller's show, you'll see him do parodies of like commercials where it's like, you know, it's like guys at a bar drinking beer and they're like, who's hotter, Ginger or you know,
Yeah.
the professor's wife? They talk about like Gilligan's Island. If you watch Dazed and
The
Confused,
professor's wife. Oh,
they
I
talk-
didn't know, sorry.
they talk about
Okay.
Dazed and Confused are talking about Gilligan's Island. And
Yeah.
that
See what I'm saying?
this is a 90s thing. Now, I know Adam wants to say it's Tarantino and Roger Avary. They're like coming out with this first,
Stole
but
it.
you know, that's like
Jerry
93.
Seinfeld.
This is, yeah, Seinfeld was doing this way before that.
That's true. Wait,
Okay.
you're taking no, you can't take my point.
You don't,
'Cause it was good. It was like the
don't
first.
gaslight me.
Oh boy.
Adam is gaslighting me. He's trying to change the story. He's trying to mess with me.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
That's interesting though. I mean, it's true. I did stumble on something kind of an interesting like little hole in all this in the history of this thing that I'm sure Tarantino
All right, so
wants
they're in
to-
an attic with a goddamn spider monkey doing heroin.
Yeah,
And
there's
then
that one
I
guy
can't
talking
it's
about
like,
Star
I can't
Trek.
I can't watch you guys have a divorce every time we record. Okay.
We're having one of these 90s conversations right now.
Adam
no,
is
I'm saying
gaslighting me.
I wish we were.
So like Tarantino and Roger Avary, this is their thing. They came up with the characters talking about pop culture. Okay.
cool.
That didn't exist before that.
Okay.
So there's that one
You say
guy
so.
who's British and he's just talking about Star Trek. He's talking about The Prisoner. He's an annoying character.
Kevin Smith, didn't he do that?
He is an annoying character, William, but he's also an important character for that for a drug circle. You got if you're all gonna get gacked out, you need one person that'll just like maybe keep talking. even though everyone else is not listening or paying attention, you're like zoning out, just trying to stay conscious or whatever. And then there's always that one person in the corner that's just like, man, and then like Star Trek episode and like taking whippets and doing it. It's like, how are you still alive and talking? But they're always talking about nothing. So I love that scene when it kind of slowly zoomed out of him just in the middle of a rant. Are they driving? They're driving somewhere.
So then the camera gets all fucked up. It's all distorted. And they're just so high. They're just driving.
Oh,
and they're
because they
just
go
like,
to, yeah.
They're all out of it. And they go to a Dixieland bar. But on the way there, Eric just tells him like, I have AIDS. And then Zed's
he leans
like,
in and he goes, I have AIDS from the needle.
And then Zed's like, what?
And then leans out.
What? And then he doesn't mention it again. So then he's just like, this guy Eric he tries to keep it up, you know, like he's like manic depressive, I think. Like he's really trying to have fun all the time. And when he goes to the bar, you know, when they're playing Dixieland, he gets on stage and starts playing like the trombone.
I gotta go.
And that was
back in a few minutes.
That was insane when he started.
But also that part is really cool. How it's like slightly different lens thing.
Yeah, they had those weird distorted 90s.
Lens.
Yeah, because
it's like a music video.
I think it did a good, it did a good job of. I thought it did a good job. I related a little too much to the Zed character in a couple of those scenes where because he obviously doesn't party like that all the time, and they're like force feeding him drugs, but he's still trying to hang, and he's just barely conscious because he's like sitting at the bar with a cig just that he'd never smoked. And that hooker's trying to hook up with him forever and ever and ever. And he's just kind of zoned out staring at her.
That hooker's awesome.
That scene was great.
That Adam.
But how are they paying for this shit? They're heroin addicts that live in a freaking spider house monkey area.
Well, they could be in
spider
debt.
Monkey.
They could just be like in debt. You know, they could be
how are they
money.
ordering drinks at the bar? They were eating food and stuff.
Brian, eventually you got to go to the loan shark.
In there.
Or you get money. Another thing drug dealers will do is they will, you know, they'll loan you drugs that they know you can't pay for. So then you're in debt. You know,
been there.
They're not paying for that apartment. So it's like,
no, but how do you literally go up to a bar and say, I'll take a shot of this? And the bartender's like, okay, here's the drink. You owe me money. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And they're just doing heroin and stuff in the middle of
you pay for the drinks. At the
was
bar.
the 90s truly like that? You can
pay for you can pay for the drinks at the bar. They have money.
How is he paying? I know, but how? They don't ever explain why they have a job and why this guy knows trombone and why this guy is a safe cracker. They just have all these skills. I mean, it's good.
Criminals.
I just,
I don't know what you're asking something so specific. It's like, how did the character in the movie pay for his beer? It's like he has $5.
They weren't robbers. It seemed like this was the first time they robbed a bank. So they weren't like seasoned robbers. Maybe the safecracker was.
Okay. So, in movies, this is an archetype.
Yes.
Okay? This is the young hood, and a similar characters to this would be like in Pulp Fiction, the guys that have the briefcase at the beginning of the movie. It's like they're amateurs. They're in over their head, and guys like this are scrubs. You know, they have no skills. They get fucked all the time. They get in debts. In The Sopranos, they're the guys like this. It's kind of like what, Christopher's friends were like this. So these guys, they either are smart and they make it, or they get in too many debts and they get killed.
Yeah.
Or they go to jail.
I'm just pissed because I hate paying bills and paying rent. And then I watch movies where it seems like nobody ever stresses or worries about that. But so I think this is why it's important that he said he has AIDS. Is he like dying? Is he going out on a big hurrah? Is that why he's kind of manic depressed?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is like his big death rattle.
And I wish they had gotten more into the other characters about why they're doing it, because they really don't have much. No one's thinking at all. No one's really that worried. People are like, yeah, we're going to go in a bank. We're going to stay up the night before. We're going to do heroin.
And then whatever that red pill was.
Also, all those guys are sharing a needle with him. He's got AIDS.
They all got AIDS.
All the guys have AIDS? Except for
Yeah,
Eric
they probably don't. Yeah, because he didn't use a needle.
Did you see anyone else use the needle?
They don't show it, but they're
So
all
I think
doing.
they're- I think
they're
the
all
rest-
doing it around
yeah.
the sink.
The rest are smoking it.
Yeah,
I'm sure they know. They're not.
yeah.
We'll talk about that
It'd be as
later.
big of a deal if
It was
he had
But-
that now.
So
It's worse.
what
It was
happens
worse
is,
back then. Gotta remember that. Like COVID,
it's not like that. So
it's like diarrhea.
just like
It used to
having
be a lot
COVID.
more deadly.
what I want to
than it
know is, here's a question that I don't know the answer to that I would
That's
like
like
to know.
COVID too.
So guys today, gay guys will take PrEP, which is really diminishes your chance of getting HIV, like almost 100%.
Yeah.
Can you take PrEP if you are junkie?
Oh, and not gay at all.
Would that work? Would that prevent you from? Can you take PrEP and shoot up with an AIDS needle?
Maybe. I don't know anything about Prep C.
That's a good question, William.
Diet Prep C. It's the choice of
Diet
the
Prep
generation.
C. Diet Prep C.
Remember in Back to the Future when he went to the gay bar? He's like, "Can I get a prep free?" And he's like, "Prep free? You better pay for that."
Prepsy free.
I don't remember that.
So
Diet Prepsy.
the whore shows up, that old gross whore, and she's like, I want
what's
to
she
be
saying?
I'm like a dog. You can like piss on me. You can shit on me. You
It
can
started
fuck
with
me.
yeah.
Damn.
But it started with like, hey, you were looking for some fun. Because it started normal, and then he just sat there because he was zooted, just zoned
Yeah.
out, and he just
Sounds like
sat
the
there. And
drug
then she immediately goes from like normal like prostitute sex, normal missionary, to fucking in a dumpster, to you can shit on me, you can piss on me, you can do whatever.
She's a, tenacious salesman.
Who's the guy in To Kill a Mockingbird? Who's the lawyer who plays Atticus Finch?
Gregory Peck.
Yeah, that's his daughter.
For real.
Yeah, that actress, which is cool.
That is cool.
His
It's like
daughter's
Lawrence
French.
Fishburne's daughter is like did porn or something.
Yeah, and then he grabbed.
So if you ever want to
his
see
buddy-
what Lawrence Fishburne would look like if he was a lady who did porn, you can see you could do that because they look very similar. So.
You could just look at the porn.
Yeah, but if you want to watch Lawrence Fishburne as a chick getting banged, or
Yeah,
whatever,
he has one where he puts fake
What do
tits
you have?
on and he gets pegged.
Altoids?
Sorry,
You have like
about-
Altoids you're playing with, and you're talking and whispering.
it's a toy car actually.
He's he's playing with his kids' toys.
It's not my guess. But I get to play with it too. It's just it's like a little bit of a dad. perk.
Adam, I feel like every time I see you not exclusively wearing a diaper, something's wrong. You're just a big baby.
Holy shit!
I'm a big man.
He's playing with a car.
What kind
toy.
of car is it?
It's a Beamer. No big deal. Only the finest. Doors open.
Who gave him that?
I don't know about those kind of things.
It's
It's yours.
very
It's
Orange
your
County.
toy.
It's very OC. It's like I got the kid a little Beamer car.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he likes cars in general.
A little
Here's
Tesla, little toy
here's a-
Tesla
He's a
Here's
Hot
a little-
Wheels kid.
And this is a little silicone implant.
for his little
Here's a little
titties.
We got him implants and lip.
Little silicone
Injections.
titty implant.
Give him a little baby titties.
Salee,
Sounds
just to
kinda
perk him
cute.
up, just an A cup, something, just so he has some.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after that, Eric throws that pushes that woman away. He's like, "Get the fuck
He
out
goes,
of here!"
you don't want this. You don't want this old dirty whore. And he goes, I wasn't. So at this
Yeah.
point now, his
He didn't
friend
know what
Eric
she's
is like,
saying. So he didn't even know
twice
that
now-
she was.
twice now he's thrown a prostitute away from his friend. So at this point, he's like, damn, this dude must love hookers.
Yeah.
And they go in the bathroom and he just is so fucked up, and he takes this weird red pill, which is like
He
kind of like
forces it to him.
it's kind of like the Matrix, you know. He takes the red pill.
What was
But he
that?
doesn't-
What
Molly?
interesting.
some sort of
foreshadowing.
made up movie drug.
Yeah.
And then he's just Eric Stoltz is all fucked up. He's like barfing, and then he like looks over and he just sees like there's like a flame. There's like an open flame and a fire. And Eric is just like he's having butt sex with this like little Vietnamese guy who's in the gang. Tai Tai.
Oh, that was him, right?
That was Tai Tai.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
I
like
was
so
wondering who Tai
Tai's definitely got AIDS.
yes.
Yes. Yeah, that supports your theory that they all have AIDS except for Eric Stoltz.
So at least two of them have AIDS. That's for sure. And
But
then
he passed out and woke up on a couch. So who knows what happened from that bathroom floor to the couch?
and then it's like
What are
You
you,
know,
suggesting, Ryan?
He could have been raped.
so they're
It's a
like
pretty-
I think he
pretty
would
big
know if he
accusation.
was raped.
No, he wouldn't.
Okay. I knew.
He didn't know people were getting murdered.
I
while he
knew
was-
when I was raped.
Yeah, because you were the one doing it. Somehow, when you put your dildo in your mic stand and then sit on it, that's not rape. Bro.
I knew. I
was
knew.
raped.
I know what I'm doing to myself. Okay, so then he wakes up.
Take it to
He
court.
wakes up to everybody like locking and loading guns around him, and they're just like chipper. Like how?
Yeah, they get like right.
They
into
party
the
like
bank
this all the
robbery.
time. They know how to do it. They do heroin.
I do
they-
all the
That seems
time,
really
but
good, by the
you
way,
still
where
need
he
like a
gives them-
day.
That scene is
take
really good where
meth.
he gives them the pill, by the way.
Take meth.
And he's like talking to him. He's like, "We got to live." And he's like really
Yeah.
close. And that cinematography, that part of the drug stuff is so good.
The photography's
Drugs are tight,
good.
man. Yeah, drugs are cool.
Yeah,
You know.
now I know.
They're
I
under.
get it now.
They're exposing really well in the darkness. It looks great. But
And his
these
performance
guys,
is really good in that scene. Like, you know what I mean? Just
Well,
like
it's the
Eric-
red pill, and there was like a red light in the background. It was
if
cool.
it was like a scene where the character was the Joker, people would be losing their shit about how good his performance was.
He would have definitely been a good Joker.
a French Joker.
Little mime.
Yeah, a
You
little, a little mime. That's his name.
Well,
That's
Jack
cool.
Nicholson did the mime in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
It's your Uncle Binky. That seems weird. That's a very
He
Tim
says
Burton
that?
scene.
Mimes don't talk.
Well,
Have you ever
once
met
it's-
one?
This is the Joker. He's
Many
a mime.
times.
Hey,
My dad was a
imagine.
mime
Hey,
for in church.
imagine being a mime. Trying to order at a drive-through.
Oh,
No,
man.
at a whore, at a hooker,
Trying to tell her what you
At a
want.
hooker drive-through.
and you're just like,
Imagine
You have to
that.
mime
we
up.
were-
world.
At the bar, we were joking. We actually were talking about mimes last night, and we were joking. And somehow it got down to Aunt Jemima, but she's a mime on the syrup bottle.
That's cool.
That's about all we got.
Instead of changing her name to like something more,
you're away from the
modern or
microphone.
whatever.
No one can hear you.
Instead of changing her name to something more modern, they just make her
Okay,
a mime.
Adam, we can hear you.
Never mind. Get off the mic.
So
Damn
they
it.
go. So the bank robbery happens. Now the movie's like halfway over, and it's cool that the movie.
Adam's realizing he should have had subtitles on around this part.
Mhm. Yeah,
It should.
because the French guys are just talking to each other, and Eric Stoltz is doing his own
Movies.
thing.
It's moving. It's good. They're getting through it, and this is a cool structure for a little independent film. You know, first half they do heroin. Second half they rob a bank. So they show up to the bank. They run in. The camera's very close around the doors, so you don't see America to the left and right. You don't see
Yeah.
LA anywhere outside the bank. They get inside. All the windows are closed. They run in. They start like, you know,
Low
Zed
budget.
and Eric go
solution.
downstairs, but the other guys are like start like shooting security guards. One of the security guards is Ron Jeremy.
Yes, I was gonna ask
Very
if
fun.
that,
Always
and
fun
he
to see
doesn't
him.
even have a line or anything, right?
Well, he can't
doesn't even
speak
get up.
French.
No, he just immediately gets blown away, but that's how it should be.
He's like sitting in a chair, and then he like kind of tries to get up, and then just gets blasted.
It like holds long enough for you to be like, hey, that's Ron Jeremy.
And then his big wrong dingus falls out.
They should have shot his dick off. Yeah.
But
When you have the opportunity.
but it takes like 3 guns. It's like cutting down a tree with a gun.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about it.
Okay, they robbed the bank. So immediately there's murder, and Zed is chill.
Well,
He's
they
like
have
chill
to,
about it.
they do that scene from Die Hard where they ask like the bank manager to open the vault and he refuses. Remember in Die Hard when Hans Gruber has the Japanese guy, he's like, "You please tell me the codes." He's like, I can't. And then he like kills him. That scene is basically played out here, but
Well, yeah.
Eric has this like French woman he has the gun in her mouth. This is great casting because these are all actors in LA that are French.
Oh, and we noticed the prostitute works at the bank.
Yes, Zoe is working at the
her
bank.
day
Julie
job.
Delpy.
Yeah. But she didn't see the safecracker come in with him.
Well, he's got that mask on.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a cool mask, Eric Stoltz.
It's a bear
He had
mask.
But it
had
has
a
those like
cool,
dinosaur hologram eyes like that one poker player has.
yeah.
to
You
fuck
like
with
that,
the
huh?
Opponents.
How
Oh,
cool
yeah.
would it be if you had some holographic glasses and you could play with your toys? You could play with your cars with some cool glasses. Maybe go to some laser tag later, huh? Would you like that, Adam?
Honestly, yeah, I would. I'd like that a lot.
Adam
Sounds
goes and
like a
plays
really-
laser tag by himself. He's somebody. He's like a regular at
After
the local
work.
laser tag.
Get off work, blow off some
Goes, what
steam.
up, Rick? Yeah, give me
Laser zone.
rig number 12. You know, rig number 12 is the best, buddy.
And it's just me and middle school kids.
The whole thing just thinks that you're like special needs, so they let you come and play by.
Once I remember.
No,
so
he's
I
like a
love-
whale. He's like a high roller. They're like, "Oh, Adam's coming
Oh,
in. Make
shit.
sure you treat him right. You know, would you like a slice
Hello,
of pizza,
sir."
Would you like a Pepsi? Can we get you a Pepsi?
Pepsi, any Prepsi?
Prepsi
A prep?
I'll have a
You
diet
wanna-
Prepsi,
you wanna-
please.
diet,
for me.
diet
Trying to
Pepsi
watch
and a
my
prep.
weight.
I've got
Yes.
AIDS. I'll take a prep. It's like, sir,
remember-
you're supposed to take that before you
God.
get it.
I loved laser tag when I was a kid because you play it really intensely and it's like techno music. You just feel like you're Blade. And then
Yeah, no one
But, like,
cares. So
well-
let's get back to
well-
the movie. So
all right, never mind.
he
I had
he
a
was about
point I
to
was gonna
describe.
I know,
but as an adult, it's more of a fine art. What were you going
no
to
one
say?
cares, Adam.
I was just gonna say
You know-
it took me a game or two to get back into it when we did that for my birthday party. And then I realized I was like, oh yeah, if I'm like rolling on the
took me a
ground and
game
taking
or
cover and stuff.
No one
And I will-
cares. You're supposed to
and it
talk
was
about the
so
movie.
awesome.
You're supposed to talk about the
We'll
movie.
talk about laser. Can we shift this to a laser tag podcast?
It's not Adam's just flights of fancy.
That sounds like a good. I would listen to that.
That would be.
podcast.
I would listen to that too.
Thanks, bro. Never mind. We can talk about laser tag at my next birthday party.
Oh man,
That's right. If I do it for my birthday, you guys have to come. That's the delicious trick.
No, I don't. So
Oh, I'll be coming.
Ryan doesn't even live in California.
You're gonna ruin my laser tag party by coming. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna come at it.
Not that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna come.
No comment.
Yeah, I'm gonna come at your birthday party, dude. No, I'll be coming at your party, man.
Ryan and me are on heroin at your birthday party, just fucking each other in the ass in the bathroom. We're just
well, Adam. Oh
I'm
my
like all
God.
like worn out from laser tag, looking over. I'm like, what is everybody seeing this?
this is intense.
This is intense.
I also want to say that like
French.
that bar playing Dixieland is such a nerd music idea of like something
Yeah,
that's
why
hip.
did they pick that?
I don't know,
Oh,
but
so
maybe
okay,
it's a
so
French- maybe
actually
it's
they're
a
I thought it
French
hips.
was-
They
thing.
are hipsters, but
That
still,
might be a
it's
real
like,
French thing.
Well, I thought it was supposed to be like because it's like an acid trip, whatever, like disorienting. It was like circus music.
yes.
Yeah, it was just like
And
the
so
whole,
I think
there's like
they-
a
they
joke
chose
almost
it
about
be-
trip things
yeah.
being trippy.
And
And then
it's
like
like-
trippy,
cartoon
and then it's
notes
like-
come out.
Yes.
Yeah, the
that was
cartoon
cool.
animated notes.
Fun,
So
fun.
anyway, they back at the bank robbery scene, they
Fun.
like he kills that old lady, kills the bank manager, and Zed's not too worried about it. he gets to work.
No, he's freaking out. What are you talking about?
He's freaking out.
He barely freaked out.
He's not that freaked out.
I mean, he's like, I'm in this. He's not like, whatever. He's like,
yeah, I mean, he's not like whatever, but he's not. He should be freaking out. I would be freaking out.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
this bank robbery plan is terrible.
You never robbed a bank?
Remember, he at the house. He's like, "Look at the plans. Don't ask me where I got these." And he's just like showing him like bank plans, blueprints.
Also, why would they put a window in the middle of one of the vaults that connects to the most expensive vault full of gold? It doesn't make none of it makes sense.
All vaults have little windows
connecting. So the bank
you can look in
this situation, the bank has 3 major bank vaults. All 3, and this is them describing the plan.
There's
all
2.
3. There's 3. And they just don't even talk about the third one. But you can see on the thing there's 3 vaults. And all 3 vaults are different. One is like the more expensive one that has the gold behind it. So it's like a better T90X type vault. And then the other one is shitty.
It's like a PS5 vault.
Why did they connect those 2 through one stupid little way? That's not how you build buildings.
Well, it could be an old bank, and it's just that's what they did back then.
They didn't,
because it's like,
I mean, maybe vaults do have that because they otherwise it's completely sealed.
Banks. It's a vault. It's supposed to be completely sealed.
But like, so where you
it's like the definition of a vault.
This is a cliche. This is a cliche for bank robbery movies.
Okay? Bank robbery movies are all the same, I feel like, actually, in a lot of ways.
He literally just said it's a cliche. And you just he said what you said in 2 words. And like, this is a cliche. Well, I think
bank robbery movies
in like
are
3 words.
They have their own cliches. And
But then you deconstructed the word cliche and then said a paragraph. That was the same as what he said.
So
broke it down for the stupid people.
This is a common thing. You break in.
So I feel like this happens.
It's easier to break it
often.
next door to the bank and go through the wall into the vault. This is a classic trope of the bank robbery movie. Okay. Yeah. The vault door is too big. How do we get around it? Let's go around the back.
Why don't they make the whole vault out of the vault door?
Nice. Dude, now that's another thing that people steal from Jerry Seinfeld. You know, this is how influential that man is.
The dude's a pedophile. All right, let's move on.
He was a great pedophile.
He wasn't.
He never gets shit for that.
What are you talking about?
He dated some like incredibly hot like 17-year-old.
And
like,
the age of consent in New York is 17.
No, I know, but
he fucked a baby. You don't remember that? He was first on the list on Epstein's Island.
That was just an episode of Seinfeld.
You can't fuck a baby. You can't fuck a baby. He fucked a baby. You can't fuck a baby.
Get out. I'm dating a baby. He has like the stroller.
You just don't fuck a baby. If he fucked a baby, why'd you fuck a baby, Jerry? Jerry, you don't fuck a baby.
What? Why does he always get to fuck the baby?
And then later he's like,
I wanted to fuck the baby.
I feel like there's an age difference.
Why can't I fuck the baby?
Age difference, you know.
And then
George, and then later in that episode, George is dressed like a full baby and trying to sneak into a daycare. To try and fuck a baby. He's like, I want to fuck a baby.
And Elaine works at the daycare, and she's like, "No, George." And then Newman is like, "Hey, Jerry, I heard you're dating a baby."
Now we're dating somehow dating a baby.
He's like, I used to date her.
I used to date
He's
a
like,
baby.
Just for an episode.
George, Newman dumped the baby. I can't be fucking a baby that Newman dated.
I'm getting sloppy baby seconds.
And then George's parents show up, you know.
There's a hierarchy to how you date a baby.
You don't know Seinfeld, Ryan, and you're trying to like
does it work? Am I
trying to tag jokes?
Am I getting closer? Because that show's stupid. No, but that's how Jerry talks.
Anyway.
You can't date a baby that somebody else has dated. That actually sounded more like George's dad. Stiller.
What's his name on the show?
Ben Stiller's dad.
The baby has man hands.
Oh my god, you guys are actually doing
The
references.
baby has
You guys are
man
lame.
pussy.
I haven't said anything.
The baby has man ass. She has
The
man.
baby's got man ass.
It's getting like so far away from anything going on. But still good.
Dude,
I went in for a massage.
So,
this
and I got a
movie,
baby boner.
Killing Zoe is like if George and Kramer robbed a bank, and Elaine worked there.
yeah.
And Kramer and
everything went to
Kramer's
shit.
Eric. Yeah, Kramer's Eric. Jerry's Zed.
Yeah, he's the one that goes off.
So
Elaine Zoe.
Flies off the handle.
there's a cool scene where Eric Stoltz is like using this like fake drill to like
Yeah,
break into the vault, and while he's setting that up, it's cross cut with like Eric doing heroin, and it's like Eric Stoltz puts in like liquid, and then this guy like
and the two. Yeah,
this was this is only in the director's cut. This got deleted because the MPAA said it was too, you can't show heroin.
Oh, did you notice too?
Loaded in
they
like
never-
close up.
Yeah, they never
Arms.
showed. They never showed any needles going to any arms, and they never showed any. And this is probably because they didn't have the budget for it. Any most of the murders were off screen. It would show the person shooting, and then the person
Yeah.
that was getting shot was off screen. Every violent act was like not technically like a combat scene until the end.
And it probably was a
Oh, did
budget
they-
They
thing.
hide a lot of.
It was
shots,
definitely
yeah.
a budget. Well,
But it
because then
works 'cause
you
it's
have to
cool.
get a stunt coordinator. Like you legally have to get like a
Sure.
stunt coordinator to come in for that
For a
shit. So they
squib.
did that. They definitely cut corners on
talking
that.
about-
And I thought it was a great choice, even though it was probably
Yeah,
a
it was
budget
good.
thing.
You were talking about how like they do show like the heroin needle or whatever. They also do the thing where they like they show the guy at the end like reloading his shotgun, that one like third bad guy or bank robber, and it's like they do like a close up of it going in, and it kind of like they like, I feel like back then they like fetishized like reloading a gun, you
What?
know, like they would like show it and be like, yeah, and they like put in it, you know, and like doing all these
Hold on.
fetishizing.
Did we just get Michael
things.
Winslow on the podcast?
Like what other
Yeah.
movie?
Oh, your
Well-
mic is good. It's not even picking up that pop. Like literally,
Nice.
do a gun noise.
Well, that's my baby sock. You know?
Like what
Your
other
baby
movie
cu- your
does
baby cum sock?
fetishizes this?
I feel like 90s action movies like there
Like
was,
which
a-
ones? Like
but
which
it,
ones?
like taking time to reload, and I feel like they don't
What
do
other
that as
ones?
much.
Terminator does
I
it.
don't know,
when
obviously.
he spins the gun in Terminator.
Yeah, there's a lot of spinning
No,
guns. I
when
wonder,
he has the sawed-off shotgun and he reloads it.
I bet you
So-
action movies are much less fetishizing of guns.
Actually,
these
the
days.
movies that do it are Hong Kong action films. They would fetishize the gun.
Ooh,
No.
got your ass,
no, like
dude.
the swinging
John Woo.
shotgun and stuff.
Got your
John
ass,
Woo,
bro.
he would show the loading and unloading of the bullets and the guns and the bullets hitting the ground, and
Thought John
they were
Woo was a
really
pigeon.
they were
the pigeon
it
guy,
really
the dove guy.
influenced. That's part of it. They were really influenced by John Woo. Also, in True Romance, there's a really similar
Yeah,
scene where
but my
all the
point is-
gangsters. Your
Sorry.
point is over. Your point is
no,
over.
my point was
No, your
that
point
they
is
don't-
over, bro. And I've had it up to here with this.
My point was that they don't do that
Shenanigans.
as much anymore, I think, because of, you know, guns.
Because of guns.
Problem with guns now.
What
People don't
problem? What
Columbine.
problem is there with guns?
Columbine. So
One word.
during this
Columbine.
in this movie, there's a scene where they're shooting up the bank and they're
he
saying
leans back like he's.
they shoot up the bank in this movie and they say this is the best day of my life. During Columbine, the kids were running around screaming, "This is the best day of my life."
Damn.
And apparently, they were literally quoting this movie during Columbine. And I gotta say,
Oh.
that's
Who
better
were
than
you
winning
applauding,
an.
the movie or the Trenchcoat
That's better
Mafia?
than winning an Oscar. I applaud Roger Avary.
Hmm.
He understood the mindset of a killer. But then again, if you look at Roger Avary, he kind of looks like Dylan Klebold.
Did he understand the mind, or did he create that?
And the other kid's name is Eric Harris. It's Killing Zoe.
Yeah. By the way, I met a guy recently whose name is Dylan Harris, and I was like, "What's that?" You know.
Wow, that's really funny.
It's
Cool.
like if they.
Where do you meet people? What do you do to meet people?
I just only through my wife. I just
When
have to meet a person through my wife.
When
That's how I
Adam
meet
has a little extra time on the weekends, one thing he likes to do is go to the local gay bar and lay in the trough.
Oh, I thought
And
he
he just lets all the guys piss on him, and he just rolls around in the urine.
He hides under the ice cubes that they gotta.
He's the dog. He's the bar dog.
I don't have
Hold
a
on. Did you meet this?
problem with
Did you
going
meet
to the
this
gay
kid?
bar, but I draw
Did
the
you
line
meet this
the
kid
trough.
at? Did you meet this kid at laser tag? This
Dylan Harris
He was
is like
12
10
years
years
old.
old. Yeah.
Dylan. Yeah.
I
So
was
I
like,
met
"Hey,
this,
dude, you're just like the Columbine killer."
and the person's mom is like, "Dylan, let's go.
Get away from that man.
Get away from
already
that
been
man."
talking to me for like an hour.
Why is this grown ass man at a laser tag yelling about Columbine?
It'd be
Laser
funny if
tag.
Adam
Laser
worked
Laser
at
tag
the-
is literally a 3-story laser tag here in Austin, Texas. It's dope.
But for real?
It's called Blazer Tag. Look it up.
Is it like the arena
Right.
is 3
When
stories?
I nannied, it's 3 stories. Yeah,
Arena. The battle
but
zone.
each floor is only probably like 8 feet, 9 feet.
So you don't have. Wait a minute. You don't have
What?
multi-level laser tag
There's
battles,
3 tiers.
including
There's
with
3
like
tiers.
Titanfall style. You know,
Oh man.
wall running and you
Oh
know,
my
can,
god,
yeah.
that'd be awesome.
grappling hooks.
Yeah, you could if you brought them. If you
Yeah.
got the equipment. Yeah, if you got the gear, bring it.
There should be a grappling hook bar or a grappling hook like
Yeah.
grounds that you can like get
That
drunk
is-
at with
oh
your
my
buddies.
god, dude! That's the next thing after axe throwing.
So you could be like Batman. You could just like shoot a grappling hook 3 stories up
He just gets zipped up. Wow!
and you take a shot at the top and then you like
Like
And then
20
you have
people
to-
die a day at this place.
and then you have to fly
paralyzed.
down.
Drinking and then doing grappling hooks.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
so their bank robbery plan doesn't seem to be working out so well for these guys. I'm really surprised because
It actually is working. They just started murdering a bunch of people.
so here's the hard part with the bank robbery. You get the money, but then you gotta get out.
Mhm.
And
they went for gold, which
they get
Yeah,
like
you're gonna get gold out.
thousands and thousands of pounds of gold.
which would not
bars.
even fit on the thing they had it on in the movie. There's so many
Their van.
things that bugged me about this movie. What do they do for jobs? Why is the prostitute the only one working 3 different jobs?
Yeah. The
And
woman
then
has all the jobs. in this
They,
movie.
all those gold bars would not fit on that metal rolling thing they had. They would need a special like forklift situation. None of this is real. There wouldn't be.
They need a guy like you on the team. That's the thing. But yeah, I
They
was thinking
wouldn't.
that
They
too.
wouldn't have
The guys-
woken up that early.
But they're not
yeah,
smart.
after doing all that. Well, Eric, that guy is sitting there crying when they see the bars, and he's just like crying over bars, being like, "I'm rich."
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, yeah, dude, you gotta get out. You gotta take
He's
it
done.
away.
He-
from
Well,
the-
there's also a funny
His whole
part
thing
where
was death by cop or whatever, suicide by. I don't think he was planning to get out with
so
the gold.
there's a funny part where Eric Stoltz and that British guy are carrying the gold out. And that guy's like, maybe we should get some money, you know, so we can like party all night. And then Eric Stoltz is like, yeah, that's a real good plan because they'll trace the money. God, you're so dumb. Blah, blah, blah. And it's
Yeah.
like, dude, you have like several thousand pounds of gold bars.
What are you
I
gonna
think
do? Go to cash for golds all across town?
yeah. You're
Yeah.
gonna like just get cash for this and exchange it. Like,
No,
Just
you
chip a
melt it
little
down
off
into
every day.
coins.
I guess he
balloons.
thought like they would just,
You
you,
melt
know,
it.
roll it out the front of the bank and then just 5
Get in a
junkies
car.
would just
Yeah.
load it up into a truck and they would drive away. I mean, like,
This is the kind of craziness that 5 junkies would get into. You know what I mean? Being like, fuck, we have all this gold, we can't move it.
yeah.
Could you imagine if 5 guys didn't go into the burger business? They would have been doing this kind of shit. 5 junkies.
Yeah. Thank God they did.
And you
For-
know
for
what?
our
I'll tell
sake.
you, if you haven't had 5 guys, they put about that amount of gold, thousands of pounds of gold's worth of fries in the bottom of that bag. It's good. It's good. These
Yeah, their
peanut
gold
oil,
was in the fries.
golden Yukon golden potatoes.
What
Yeah,
about Five Guys?
That's my Five Guys bit.
that's good. That was a good.
What about Five
that
Guys just with the grappling hooks running around?
Well, I was gonna ask
Doing
Adam,
laser
Five
tag.
Guys is Five
That's
Guys
awesome.
the maximum that you can fit at the trough?
I don't go lay in the trough. Okay.
He lays in it like Nosferatu, and then he just kind of burrows like one of those fish that hides itself under sand, and he just burrows under the ice. So you can just see like his eyes through some of the ice.
If Adam did
And then
that, he'd be wearing
he
like
just-
swimming. He'd have like swimming trunks on and like goggles, and he'd just
toe
be like,
shoes.
yeah, he'd just be
No,
laying like,
no goggles.
like he's in a
He want-
spa. He's like, it's
Little
really good for the
cucumbers.
skin. I read
Yeah.
about this on Instagram.
He's got the two of the little urinal cakes as cucumbers over his eyes.
We guys won't be laughing in 20 years when I have great skin and you guys don't.
Yeah, then you see him afterwards at the bar, like he has like a white robe on, and he's just covered with like dark yellow urine on his face. And
I
he's like,
think I'm going to the spa.
he's
Eating
drinking
the-
like a margarita.
Eating the urinal cakes like cucumbers after just taking it
There's
off his
like-
eyes and taking a bite out of it. Ooh,
There's like
I'm refreshed.
I don't
It's
know
just
about
like-
spas that play like this rock music or whatever, but I thought it was more like new wave.
his
stuff.
hair is all like
Or new age
messed
stuff.
up.
Somebody's like new to the bar. It's their first time at the bar, and they're like, "What the hell? Who is that guy? Does he own this place?" And they're like, "Oh no, that's Adam. He's we call him Piss Trough Boy. He we don't know what his deal is, but he comes in and
I
treats.
think it's a spa.
He comes in.
Okay,
Yeah, he doesn't
that's
order
why.
any. He doesn't
That's why
order
I did.
anything. He tips us like $50. And honestly, the only thing he wastes is he eats like 2 or 3 urinal cakes before he leaves. That's about all he takes. So we're like, all right,
He just has
I
like an
get it.
Entertainment Weekly under his arm, like a people.
a towel around his neck.
I think I'm getting a massage,
his
but I just
row.
get in like an S&M leather like harness, get whipped and
You're just getting
sodomized.
pegged.
Be like, this is
Hey.
what a massage is like. I didn't get a massage until I was
The
like
guy that doesn't understand the difference between a spa and a gay sex club.
I just assume that nobody else is a customer there because they're not wearing robes. Talking to everybody like they're working
No,
there.
that's just how oblivious you watched a whole movie without subtitles. Adam, that is your life.
No, it was half.
When did you realize you should put the subtitles on?
It was when they were in the bank. Like the guy was telling that joke or whatever.
The third
And I was
act.
like, this is a long joke and there's no English speakers here. to,
Oh,
like,
that scene was awesome. I'm glad you brought that up, though. That was
Yeah.
another scene where it was like they're just talking nonsense, and he's going on and on with this joke. That I thought that was really like a cool kind of creepy. Like if I was a
was a
hostage
good
at a
scene.
bank situation, that'd be fucking terrifying if they were just talking about.
What
That
about the
scene felt-
American guy?
oh yeah.
The American
That'd be
guy.
such a thing that
Hey,
we would do.
The Save
you
the
can't
Whales.
do this. I'm
Parenting.
American. I'm American.
You know,
guy's
from
an early
America.
Karen.
He goes, you can't do this.
I'm surprised he didn't have a gun. That's the other cliches. But I guess in Paris,
Well,
in
he was
America, would
wearing-
bring a gun.
He couldn't, and he was
That'd be like
wearing
a Texas thing.
Save the Whales shirt, right? Or hat, or what was
Yeah.
he wearing?
Save the Whales. Sure.
No, he was that kind of guy. He was like a hippie, an
He
American
doesn't
hippie,
look like that
basically.
kind of
He did.
he
look
acted like a
bro.
Florida guy, like a Texas guy.
Yes.
guy. Yeah.
Should have been a
It said
cowboy.
it says save the whale. This is how we know if he was from Florida. It says save the whales on the front, and then it turns around so we could fuck their holes or something stupid. That'd be Florida, and it's like a Confederate flag for no reason, and like a frog smoking a joint with like reggae hair.
Yeah.
That's in Florida, and it just says salt somewhere on it,
and he's
That
Cuban.
would be a tight shirt. Yeah.
and he's Cuban. Yeah, and it's
I would wear
also
that to the
Scarface.
beach.
It's a Scarface shirt on the back too. For some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Florida
the
sucks,
frog,
man.
Jamaican frog is doing a Scarface, like say hello to my little friend thing.
Yeah.
You know.
What if your penis was Scarface? Like that'd be a cool movie.
Oh, this is gonna be fucked up. So, Adam, you're from Florida.
Yeah.
Remember when that gay club got shot up?
Yeah.
Did you survive that because you were in the trough? Only
He
1
just-
minute 48 dead.
He's like
Only one
getting
man
pissed
survived.
on, and then all the guys are getting shot, and like blood's pouring on him.
I stood up out of the
He's like, what the
trough.
fuck? What the
It's
fuck?
like, oh man.
He's like walking
That's
around.
cool. That's cool.
Stretching, just totally relaxed, just like
He's
so
like pink
zen.
jellies on, walking through puddles of blood. There's like a shot of the ground. There's just like arms and legs and like pools of blood, and Adam's like pink shoes are
whistling Dixie.
You're like, man, I haven't mopped up around here lately.
His People magazine, his TV guide underneath his arm.
yeah. His People magazine has a hole in it. He's like, what? He's like,
And that's the
Walks
cover.
through the
That's like
hole.
the photo that was circling the news. It's just Adam in this carnage.
one survivor.
I also like the idea.
And then afterwards, he's
of a
being
gay
interviewed
bar
by the
having a
news.
trough.
He's being interviewed by the news. He's like, why are you saying it's a gay bar? This is a this is a
You
salon.
mean the spa?
You mean the spot?
It's like in Spanish.
Oh,
It's like Los Gay Barro or something. And he's like, I don't speak Spanish. I think it's a spa.
I don't know. They didn't have subtitles. I thought it was
Yeah.
an interesting choice for a spa.
I don't
You know
think
how
they're
like the laundry mats put laundry upside down sometimes? I thought that's
yeah,
what
they're
they
all
were doing.
Cuban. They're just like, he has no idea what they're saying. And he's just like, I don't know what you're
They
saying. I
just
think it's
survived
I
one of the
think they're
most
Thai.
brutal hate crimes.
I think they're Thai. I think this is a Thai massage parlor.
His white robe had just little piss stains all over it. What other
I take it
situations?
off and hang it
What
up
other
and
mass
change
shootings
back
could he
into my-
survive
Can't
because
hear
he was
you.
in a piss drop?
Right.
Oh God, no, but real. That's a shout out to all the victims.
Thanks for waiting until past the hour mark for going into that. Yeah, shout out. R.I.P.
No, it was a true.
Is our
It was
official
actually
stance.
a tragedy. It was totally. It was a huge
It was a
tragedy
tragedy.
that Adam survived by hiding in piss.
Pulse
you know.
nightclub, massage parlor. I don't know. What's a pulsey? Pulsey. Anyway, so Zoe freaks out after the joke. She grabs the gun. She's running around shooting people. Tai gets killed. The cops have shown
That
up.
was
All
sad.
hell's breaking loose.
Mi hermanos huevos.
Eric, who the whole time is like, I could never do this without you, Zed. I love you. You're my best friend. He immediately turns on Zed.
Like immediate once he sees the gold, he's like done.
I was
Yeah,
really
so-
disappointed.
So the friendship in the movie is falling apart at this point, even though it seemed like
It was
they
not a
were
real
such
friendship.
they were such good friends. But
No, they weren't because they hadn't seen each other when they first meet in the hotel at the beginning. They go, "Holy shit, how long's it been?" And he goes, "Oh shit, man, I don't know, 11 years."
so they were like,
They're acquaintances at
teenagers.
this point. Yeah.
You think you know someone, well, rob a bank with them. Then you'll find out how well you know them.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
That's-
People
yeah,
change.
your friend.
People change. This is something they don't teach you in school. People change after 11 years old. People change. And that's why Adam hangs out at laser tags and he caps his friendships at 11. And anybody older than 11, Billy Harris.
Dylan Harris.
It's like a little kid in a trench coat with like sunglasses on and like slick back hair,
And just really loves
Cooler than-
laser tag way too much.
reading Guns and Ammo magazine.
Oh, that kid sounds awesome. Yeah.
Playing Doom.
You know what? Another fun one is look up what Osama bin Laden, what he watched in the like 2 months he was in hiding. And it's pretty dope.
2
He watched
months.
whatever it was. Right before they killed him.
I only remember two
God, that
months
only
you weren't
lasted 2
blacked
months, by the
out.
way. Yeah.
It's like an 8-year manhunt.
Hiding, yeah. It felt like 2 months.
presidencies.
But he was just watching like anime and a lot of Ice Age movies and a lot of it's just really interesting to
was.
see what he watched. And he played a lot of the same. He played Metroid. He played a lot of the same video game. He had a really good taste in games and shows.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot like just kind of what you consume, Ryan.
Yeah. So I'm saying, I don't know. Maybe I got a lot more in common with Osama bin Laden than I thought. Okay.
He could relate to that little squirrel with the nut. You know, that's just how. Okay. Scratch or whatever.
He kind of looks like it too. Yeah. He kind of looks like a little squirrely guy.
So the bank. So what happens? Eric and Zed fight.
He finds very
Hong Kong, very Hong Kong looking, like stop, slow motion, step motion, whatever kind of thing.
Yeah.
The camera, it's like 4 frames a second. But
also the prostitute is the one who saves the day.
Of course, she
goes berserk and picks up the gun and just starts blasting everybody.
The cops show up, and the cops aren't looking very good. These are some bad costumes on the cops. They're just they're just wearing like black clothes and like black masks over their face. They don't have any decals. They don't have any body armor. They don't have any like, you know, they look like janitors. Or they have like gas masks. They have gas masks.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're going to tear gas it.
It's kind of a cool choice, though.
Because there was a huge explosion. He threw that C4.
They were smoking
to blow
them out.
Up the wall.
Well, they threw smoke grenades
out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy dies, and he's got the Two-Face thing, and he dies, and because Eric Stoltz can't understand him.
Oh, that practical effects was sick. Yeah, and he got blown up.
That was a good.
And then he had to put him out. He has to put him out of his misery. That was a good.
Yeah, Tom Savini did those visual effects.
Eric Stoltz doesn't understand anyone speaking French.
So you don't need to know. That's a situation you don't need.
The guy didn't want to die, though.
Blown to hell. Yeah, but
no one wants to die, but
he was dead already. I can't wait, man. It's been 153 years. I'm sick of this shit.
You look amazing for your age, Ryan. Just want to say that,
man.
What's your secret?
Immortality, bro. I don't know how it happened.
Adam's just like in the trough. You have great.
What's your secret?
I don't think
I'm trying everything.
I don't know if the spa is working. I don't know if the spa is working out for me. It's like pink eye.
Yeah. I feel like sick all the time. And like, I don't get why people love these spas.
Get like,
I go 3 times a day sometimes and I feel worse.
Like the more I go, the worse I feel. Oh man!
I just like the idea of Adam
with his board shorts on,
in his board shorts, walking up in his robe with his TV magazine, his TV guide, his outdated.
He's like, "Is this
TV
a water
guide.
Slide?"
And he just walks up to the trough and he stretches.
It's like a giant trough. It's like a trough. It's like 20 feet long, and he's just like sliding down with his arms crossed,
getting to the top of it like he's a Olympic diver.
Yeah.
Takes off his robe, stretches a little bit, and then he just dives on into it, getting into an ice bath.
Like,
yes.
Cool. That's funny.
Oh man.
Oh man. Your kid's gonna love that joke when he listens to it after you die. And he's gonna be like, I gotta learn about my dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's just
on
like
a journey to connect with his dead father.
So
sorry,
Eric Stoltz is pretty banged up. All the cops end up shooting Eric. There's this one like really pretentious part where like Eric like walks up to the camera and like he does like a magic trick where like a flame comes out of his wrist.
What was up with that?
Just pretentious. I mean, look, this is Roger Avary at like 4 a.m. the last day finishing his script. He's just like,
coke. You think he did?
Wait, what did he do with his hand? I don't remember that.
He goes like this, Pepsi. And like a flame shoots out. He's drinking Pepsi. He's getting all buzzed out, thinking of wacky ideas. You know, and it's like
the movie. He throws flames.
Yeah,
he does one. It's like a shot that like you can miss, and that weird thing Eric does when he. It's confusing, by the way, because we're saying Eric, and the guy's name is Eric Stoltz.
I know.
Why didn't they?
So
they should have flipped that.
Flip it, baby. Flip it.
Oh, and are we not going to talk about how Zed looks like Kid Rock? He looks like a bloated ass Kid Rock. The entire movie.
We are.
Are we just going to blow past that?
I can't believe we forgot to bring that up until now.
My name is Zed. Zed Rock.
So then Zoe and Zed leave. It's like true romance. They just walk out, and then she's like driving him home. She's like, "No, I will show you the real Paris."
Yeah. Oh no, she saves him though
takes him to
because
a trough.
she tells the cops that he's one of the hostages,
One of the customers,
because he got cut up.
She goes,
by
he's
Zed.
a customer. He's a
It, like,
customer.
worked out. She saves him. It was beautiful.
Also,
Beautiful little.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
be right
not how
back. You guys
cops
keep
work.
talking.
Okay.
That's not how cops work. Because wouldn't they
I'm
have
just
to
gonna
be
have
like?
diarrhea?
Wouldn't they be like? They'd have to question everybody. They wouldn't just let people walk out of carnage.
Nah. Just let him go. Get home.
No, that was
You
such
know?
a waste. That was like such a waste of 48 hours. I mean, the partying part was dope.
Yeah.
And then the
at least he
next
got a
day,
party.
they just completely wasted. He didn't get any
you
money.
Get wasted one way, then wasted the other way.
He also didn't even pocket one or two of those gold bars.
Yeah, he should have brought that out at the end and like showed it to Julie
didn't
Delpy and winked.
Went bing, little wink noise, and then it does a spiral zoom in, and then a really fun cheeky song plays on the credits.
Yeah,
it's raining men.
Yeah. Or I was
hallelujah.
Fuck. What's that song? The CNC Music Factory song.
Everybody dance now.
Yeah.
It's time to get up and time to jam now.
That's the best song to end a movie with.
That's what Adam puts on his little earbuds right before he dips into the trough.
Everybody get up.
And then he puts the urinal cakes over his eyes and just blissed out. It was time to jam now.
Bump, bump, bump.
It really could work for any movie. That song.
Oh man. I'm gonna go 4.25 on this one.
Yeah,
for rating.
That's a good rating. Strong.
Can we do quarters like that?
I was gonna say like 3.75 or 3.75, whatever. It's 4 or 4. So I'd say maybe it's a really good movie. I thought it kind of a French New Wave, right, William?
How do you know? You don't even know what they said throughout most of the movie.
It was in French. Another thing that doesn't have subtitles. French movies don't have subtitles, right? French movies that I watch on TV.
How are you alive?
You can just tell
man?
us. Why are you asking us?
Just kidding, everyone. I haven't done this before. This is a first where I didn't realize that the movie had subtitles.
I'm trying to think of it.
Didn't turn on.
A comedian being like, instead of telling the premise of the joke, like asking the premise of the joke.
Yeah, it's called improv comedy.
Yeah, William. Thank you.
Which somehow Adam is doing. He is simultaneously doing and not doing improv comedy at the same time somehow. So like, what was that? What was that song I was thinking?
So
of? Somebody give me that song I was thinking of.
And I'm like, no.
Chris Rock is like,
move on.
No, whatever they say, I say no to.
Are there black people and are there N-words?
What?
Are there black people in Chris Rock's bit? That's the only bit I can think. I'm trying to think of any comedy bit. That's the only comedy bit I can ever think. What's another famous comedy bit?
I mean, what's